Welcome to OreoOlive.com. As you know, Oreo olives don't mix, but the abstract thought of putting those two words together has enlightened me to create a channel to discuss various topics. On today's episode, I want to talk about the brothers out here and how we definitely need to jump on code in terms of how we go throughout life and our career ambitions and goals. Oftentimes, what I see within our community is we see a lot of women that will go at excelling rates and constantly excelling rates, going to college, going to getting these high lucrative paying jobs, six-figure jobs, doing very well in life, which is great. Glad the sisters are getting onto their own code and helping elevate other sisters to do things more collectively. If you know anything about women, what you know is that women have a code. They have a code of ethics that they follow across all racial lines in terms of how they are going to work collectively together to in order to get to a greater outcome, not only for themselves but also for the people within their circle. Now, oftentimes with men, it becomes a testosterone issue, or as they say, a pissing match between different men because one wants to be superior than the other and so forth. But I'm bringing up this episode today and this perspective today because what I'm looking for is I'm trying to figure out, and on my journey to figure out, why are there more women that go to college and to graduate school than it is men that go to college and graduate school? Now, when you look at the different types of jobs that they end up getting, is women do tend to go more towards jobs that are more humanitarian, that are less labor intensive in terms of like physical, hardcore manual labor, if that makes sense. There's a couple videos online that talks about it. I know for Kevin Samuels talked about it when he was alive, and some of his videos are still up. And there's a couple other channels out there that are very good that talk about these different topics too. But what I'm looking for and what I want to do is figure out a way, and not only just talking about the problem, but also trying to figure out how I can make an impact on young men out here and showing them that there's more to life than just what they see and helping them achieve their goals. So this is what I'm looking at. So previously, before, what I used to do is I used to go to the local high school within our community, and basically I talked about information technology, or IT, which is a field that is not is more of a white male dominated field. Now, indeed, there are starting to be more people across racial lines that are non-white that are tending to go into IT, but pretty much that is a field that's mostly known, have a very strong presence of white males. And so what I'm thinking, and the way that I'm thinking about this is, our kids will only go into fields that they are exposed to. So if we have more professional brothers that are going out, that are also getting these really, high paying jobs, six-figure jobs, seven-figure jobs, whatever it may be, then they, could also reach back to talk to the younger brothers out here to help get them on code. Because see, women have a code. They have a code with each other. But men oftentimes don't have a code. They don't have that cheat code. Just like you put the cheat codes in the games to get the extra points, the extra health, the extra, on things that you have to use in the game. Life can almost be a similar way, and that cheat code is basically sharing the knowledge with others. So oftentimes in our community, we're so afraid to share knowledge that it's almost like a crab in a bucket pulled down syndrome. So we have to get away from that, and we have to look at it and say, okay, hey, if the sisters are out here, they're on code and they're getting these lucrative offers, why not also increase the amount of black males to also go and get these professional jobs, so when they do run into each other, they're both bringing something to the table. See, we don't have enough people talking about that. So rather than complaining about it, I wanted to do a video. I want to kind of make a shift in the channel here in talking about these, and I want to bring people together and spark conversation around this. Even when I was online talking with some people from overseas, I remember a couple of brothers that I talked to out of Africa that were in IT, and they were all like developers for instance, and it was just so amazing to be able to talk to them, and they've agreed, to come online and do a couple of interviews and stuff like that, which you guys will see on the tech channel side. But what I do is we have to reach the young people and the young men. We have to reach back and educate them of what's going on and get them on code. Get them on code, meaning that you can achieve your goals. Because the worst thing that a young man and young woman can hear is somebody telling them that they can't do something. Now, specifically to the young men that's watching this video, people sometimes will not try to knock you off of your schedule. They will try to knock you off of your goals. And I can give you a prime example of that. I remember visiting Germany some years ago, and a German man told me I would never learn to speak German. I found him a year later, or a couple of years later, found him. I knew who he was because he hung around some people that I knew. And I was able to have a full conversation with him in German. And he was just totally surprised that I was able to even learn the language. And yes, I'm bilingual. I speak two languages, English and German. But it just gave me more motivation and more ammo to go ahead and do what I need to do to prove this person wrong. And sometimes that's what you have to do. Same thing with college. I had people tell me I would never graduate college. But the amazing thing about that is I not only excelled in college, not only did I make the dean's list, the chancellor's list and all that, but I graduated college with 4 college degrees. That's right, 4 college degrees. And so with that information, why would I not share that with other younger brothers out here that need to know that there's more to life than what's in a block? Because the reality is most of us don't travel outside of our block. Most of us don't know what's outside of our block. Most of us don't even travel out of our city. Now, being a person that's traveled all over the world, which I literally have traveled all over the world, it has been amazing. And that's why I like to share the content and share the information so that people can be exposed to things that they're not used to. When you look at, for example, Venus and Serena Williams, that their father exposed them to tennis within their community, and look at where they are right now. So when you're thinking about things, the physical things that are around you, like, beverages or phones, it's not the fact that the people who invented those things were the smartest people on the planet. They just mean that they had an idea. They were average people. They were average people who went out and they physically went out and created something to make themselves billions of dollars. Billions. Just like the man that made this started out in his basement, and he was taking the leftover parts of the coffee, and he sold this company to, was it a Coca-Cola product, I think? But he sold it to them, instantly became a billionaire. It's not that he was the smartest person on the planet. It was that he had a goal in his mind that he wanted to be better than where he was at. And that's the way that we have to think about things. We have to be totally better than what we are. So guys, we got to get on code, because we need to also bring something to the table. So when that man and that woman meet each other and they start to dating, and you guys start dating each other, you both need to bring something to the table. They're more than just yourself, because you have to look at that women are on a code on their own. The men got to get on a code, and it has to be for the greater. It has to be for good. I'm not looking to jump down each other's throat or anything, but we got to get on a code with each other so that we can move our lives forward. And should we get together to create a family, then you can leave a lasting legacy. Like, listen, and subscribe, OrioOlive.com. Look forward to bringing more content to you all soon.